think the good goal for today is to get everything done and ready except for pulling the actual motor because I don't have the picker here yet. So we'll drop the trans, disconnect the fuel lines, do a little couple, ins and outs, pull the rest of the exhaust, pull the drive shaft, tranny cross member, pop the transmission off. I might pull the clutch and flywheel if I, have time and get bored because I don't have the picker yet. But so get everything other than physically pulling the motor out of the car done. So hopefully by next weekend I can have the motor pulled, or at least have the picker so I can pull the motor, and then we'll start. I don't know if I want to clean up the bay first or drop the subframe because I have to cut and move the rack forward a little bit because it's got an over-centering issue. So yeah, for today we're just gonna start pulling stuff out.
I feel like somebody's watching me.
So this is one of the water lines from the block, the one that goes into the side of the block right there. I told you was for, I run this to the wastegate and then to the turbo and then back in on the other side. Right now we're just disconnecting a few other things. Gonna go ahead and disconnect my low pressure line from my rack and pinion. Let that drain out so I can pull out the reservoir and all that stuff. But yeah, pulling one thing off at a time. Drain all the fluids and we'll get ready to pull the transmission next. Well, first we gotta do the drive shaft and other stuff, but we're doing all this so we can pull the transmission and just any little bits we can pull out. Make life a little bit easier later. Alright, now you see me pull a lot of stuff over in the bay, just little stuff, pull the battery, pull the power steering line, some coolant lines and whatnot. I'm just going to show you where I keep my coolers. So my power steering cooler, right there. Engine oil cooler's right there. Putting them there, it's a safe spot as far as drifting goes, because originally I would put them out in the corners, but if I ever happen to hit something, that's going to end my day and possibly make it so I can't drive home. So putting them there, it's the safest place, although it's not the best place because now I have a front mount, a power steering cooler, engine oil cooler, then I hit my radiator. So, I mean, I'd like to move these somewhere else maybe and help cooling even more so, even though it's not really a big issue. But that's the safest place, and for what I do, it seems to work alright. If anything, I thought about suspending them up from the top, from the radiator support up here instead of on the bottom, because you get more airflow down here. And I've never had engine oil temp issues. The hottest it's gotten on like a 90-degree day drifting is maybe 170, 180 degrees, which is not hot. I mean, I wouldn't think engine oil is really overheated until you get to about 210. It's still even acceptable. Once you get about 215 or so, then you're kind of hot. You probably ought to, back her off a little bit, but it's not even, I'm 30, 40 degrees away. Most days it's hard to keep it at 140, 150. I actually have that blocked off a lot of times. So if I could put those somewhere else, I might look into hanging them up high since it's not really an issue, and try to help the radiator even more so. But I just wanted to show you where I have them mounted. I just got two little tabs, and they're just nutsert, or not nutsert, a rib nut. Just drilled a hole and put rib nuts in there. One thing I did see on somebody else's build, I think it was Speed Academy's channel, they made a small rubber mount that goes underneath the feet, just a flat piece of rubber. Just allows it to have some movement and whatnot, maybe help it with vibration. So I think when I go to put all this back together, I'll probably cut little rubber feet to mount those on top of, just so they're not hard mounted. Not that I have any issues, but trying to keep any issues from happening. So cooler next, and I'll probably start pulling some of the oil cooler stuff out after that. I don't know if you can tell in this fitting, but I used the factory plug that's in the block there and welded it to a dashed. You're in like tear down, rebuild, make stuff a little bit better. Because I'm gonna clean up the weld, the bump, which is something I should have done the first time I made it, so I can get a wrench or a socket over it. So if I ever have to pull it again, it doesn't bite me and I can get a proper tool on it instead of a pair of ice grips.